Welcome into what is quickly becoming one of my favorite triannual traditions here at the Colorado Cantina Crew. Welcome to our pre-release in-house sealed tournament. Join myself, Sharky, and Kyle. Jillian's also joining the party for this set as we play a little bit of a sealed pool action. In a previous video, if you missed it, we built our pools, we talked strategy when we ranked the leaders, and today you're going to watch, hopefully, all of the gameplay, 3 rounds leading to a final, and I'm excited to see it, Sharky.
Yep, it should be a good time. There's some definitely good matches and some matches that you could probably skip over, but that's fine.
Yeah, life's full of decisions, right? The same way as you decide what leaders to play.
I'm just making fun of myself. It's fine.
Hey, way to foreshadow. But that's the thing. Like we opened our pools with the help of our friends over at FFG. They're really the ones who make this whole video possible. So really big thanks to them for the whole past week of content possible, realistically speaking. But Kyle, we sat down at my house last Sunday. We did our pools. We got ready for pre-release. And that's what this video is basically to help you do.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think we had some lessons learned too. So, as you watch through the video, there's some things that we kind of learned about the mechanics of this set, how things go that I know helped me in going into this weekend. Because I plan to do a few pre-releases, hopefully, depending on kids' schedule. But, definitely some things that are going to help me table mechanics wise, just help processing that sort of thing so that I'm kind of ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love pre-release for a lot of reasons. One, the vibes are always so high. Everybody that plays goes, like, you might see your buddies that you haven't seen in a couple weeks locally. We haven't been playing in person that much at locals because, we've been crawling towards rotation, right? Like we didn't really want to go play this set unless we had to. Now everything's new. I'm expecting to see a lot of friends, new and old, and you get your trades in, everybody's opening their product. It's just a good time, but we still want to win. We want to have a good time. We want to crush. We want to dominate, all those adjectives or adverbs, I think, whatever they are. So we're going to get right into the videos, but real quick, we're each going to give you one tip that we think will help you have a good time, win, do anything along those lines for pre-release. I'll kick it off. And I think the first one is, and I'm tempted to be a complete sellout and say your first tip is to go over to premiergames.store. But yeah, I'm not going to do that though. I really think what you should do is have an idea of what you want to do with any leader that you have access to. So really you want to build your pool based on the cards you have, not the leaders, but you want to understand what the leaders do. You want to understand what your leaders do and your opponent's leaders do as well. So I just recommend, whether it's going through a tier list or whatever, but just read the cards, right? Just read the leaders and understand what cards might go where. Because if you don't, maybe you had like an awesome Val pool or like an epic Saw pool and you just kind of miss it, right? So I would just say, and in general, read the cards, but definitely read the leaders. Sharky, what's up with you? You want to go last, actually. Kyle, what's your tip?
Yeah, mine is a little bit of extension on what you said. Yeah, you focused on reading the leaders. I think this set, more than any previous set, it's important maybe to give the cards a read through. And I hear there's some people out there going to say the fun of it is not knowing what's coming, and I refuse.
Yeah.
Right? That's fine. But this set, especially with multi aspects, I find it's going to probably take you longer than it did in previous sets to build your deck, to think about all your options and to build your deck. The second part of that is, maybe think about how you're going to organize your cards. I've had a way every set for when I open my packs, how I organize my cards towards building a deck. And the multi-aspect cards screw that up, right?
Yeah,
so like, as I'm sitting there, I was kind of fumbling through like, wait, how do I even consider what I'm going to play versus what I'm not going to play? So, if you got some time, I would sit down and kind of just think it through, like, how am I going to organize my cards so that I can at least start to figure out what my deck might look like.
Yeah, that's a good one. Sharky?
Yep, and mine's a little more of a gameplay one that's a little more universal too, but slow down. Read the cards, like you said, but just take a minute to make sure you know what you're actually doing. The multi-aspect nature of this set will make it so that sometimes you just miss the trigger of having to pay extra. You don't even think about it because the base allows you to not do that, but you only get to do that once. You can't do that multiple times. So just take your time, slow down a little bit, make sure everybody knows what's going on, and everybody on both sides of the table is aware of what may be happening.
Keep a clean and tidy board state, right? Like you have a couple new things, right? You're gonna have to find out where you're putting your credits. If you're going over to premiergames.store and using those credits, they fit nicely above or beside your resources. But also, like you said, Sharky, it's easy to forget to put your epic action token down. It's easy to forget that, like, you also have to pay for heroic if you're not thinking about it, and different things like that. And I'll also say that there's no rush. right? Like it's pre-release. It's the first time that everyone's playing in person, more or less. And if your games go a little bit longer than they might otherwise, then and big whoop. And
yeah.
in that spirit, I'd also say that you're gonna have to play around more stuff than you. Let's say you do know the set and you know the cards that you might be expecting. You're playing against a blue-green Vel deck. They're splashing yellow, maybe they're splashing red. You have to open your mind to those concepts that you might not be expecting. So with that being said, I hope that you can expect to watch some decent gameplay with some mistakes, but a lot of fun. We got some good leaders to showcase. I'm playing Aura Yellow. Sharky was on a mix of Boba Yellow and Boba Red. Kyle is on Vader Yellow, and Jillian is on Vel Green. So dive in, let us know what you think, and have a good time. Most of all, have a great time at pre-release, and let us know how it goes afterwards. Until next time, guys, I'm Jordan. Enjoy the games, and we'll see you soon. Bye. All right, we're here for our first match of the second annual in-house tournament. Full day best of 3 gameplay getting ready for you. Going for that heady initiative right now. Aura Yellow versus Vel Green. It's like I get the initiative. Good for me.
Hooray, you did it.
Yep.
I mean, it looks to me like you don't get the initiative. You just handed Jillian the token.
Maybe I was wrong. Yeah, who knows? Maybe I
Hooray,
got the
you
one
don't
from
get
my hand. I also quickly mulligan here. I did not have a turn 1 play, I believe. So yeah, how I felt about this game from the outside is that like I was in this weird spot between playing control and making sure that things didn't spiral, but also watching her open her pool. I knew she had tons of top end. I knew she had tons of 10 drops and stuff, or 9 drop 10 10s. So I had to be cognizant of that.
Yeah, I guess we were
with Aura herself.
I guess we were playing open deck lists here, right?
Yeah, no way to avoid it. I tried to, you know, keep it in mind, but you know, I was just thinking about it.
That's a good way to put it. Open deck lists while we watch each other build and critique drastically.
Yeah. I need to critique my hand placement here. I think I'll get it adjusted here in a second. Yeah, I started off game 1 pretty nicely. I had Qui-Gon, which really helped me lock down the ground. And then I think I started most of my games yesterday with the Vel 2-4, which really isn't great. But yeah, you see here I have the Tree Remembers, Vel, Qui-Gon, and the 5-6 Ambusher in yellow, the Mildoon Rider or whatever. So pretty solid opening hand.
That Ambush is really good. I like that guy.
Yeah, I think with Aura, you know, perhaps Vel offsets Aura's ability, right? So
Yeah.
if you get something down to 1 HP, you're going to be able to knock it off. Perhaps Vel could then buff it to get out of, you know, Aura range. So good start for Jillian, though. I mean, I'd be worried here, right? As soon as you see that X-wing, if I'm sitting in Jillian's seat, I'm thinking I'm going to buff this thing for days and start hitting base.
Oh yeah, I was not happy.
Day.
And you have a 2-3 here that could get so much bigger. And luckily in my pool, I do have some of the 2-1 Sentinels, but
yeah,
you know, the X-Wing could just get giant. It's a 3-4 and then a 5, then a 4-6, you know, it just really starts to add up.
I think Jillian needs to also press extra in space if she gets the opportunity, just to keep playing more things out there, because you're playing a blue-yellow Aura. There's gonna be something that removes stuff.
Yeah. So this is one of the pros about Aura here, is that I could swing in with Vel and then use Aura to clean it up.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, Jillian would have had an opportunity, I guess, there, right, to use Vel's ability to buff the Sentinel to prevent you from doing so.
Yeah.
I think buffing the X-Wing could have been just as effective too, though. Just go Bob base for extra damage and make him answer the X-Wing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The downside of her buffing to do either of those, right? Buff the X-Wing or buff her Sentinel not to die, is now she's giving you 4 resources and you haven't spent anything yet, right? So does she want to give you the opportunity to play a 4-drop right away?
And she is. Which in this situation, I'm able to make her pay for a little bit by playing Qui-Gon. Also gives me his nice on playability, draw 3, or look at the top 3 more accurately, I think it says, and then discard
I think at that point
1.
I wouldn't have buffed post attacking. I would have just left him go.
Yeah,
but it's because like if you want to make the other person spend resources so that they really can't use the credit immediately, I think is how I would play Vel. Now this is just me from the outside. I didn't get the opportunity to play Vel this weekend, but
it's definitely going to be a puzzle and trying to understand. I think maybe combining Vel with some like hand knowledge could be really strong. So you could be like, okay, maybe they can't make me pay right now.
Right. It's safe to do this thing. So like Vel Yellow might be interesting. Get the Beguile going and bounce their stuff and make your stuff bigger. I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing here for that one, but she went with green on this one, which couldn't blame her from the pool.
So I'm taking.
I don't remember too much of her pool, but did she have any of the credit hate, right? To be able to buff a unit, give you a credit and then immediately take your credit away, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think her pool was weakest in blue, ironically. So.
Yeah. So she does start here with another Rickety Quadrumper after pushing quite a bit of damage. I'm at 5, she's at 3 with that Alliance X-Wing. I do have the ground kind of locked down, but I think, this is when I did the Axe remembers or the Axe forgets to bounce that X-Wing out before things get out of control.
The Axe forgets, but the tree remembers.
Yeah.
And the X-Wing comes back. We're already looking a little problematic here, right? She's behind on the damage race. You've already bounced a unit. She's not going to be able to get you on ground even when she flips because you've got a Sentinel locking things down. It's not looking great.
Pretty rough.
Yeah. I think one of the good things about Oriello here is that you get bounce and removal.
Yeah.
It might be the trade-off that you don't have the tippy top end that like green would give you. But, maybe you could address that with the splash base. Earlier in the past video that we recorded and published a few days ago, we did our pool builds, and my top end is basically one job is Rancor. So, it's dependent on what you could draw when and what you open. You
doing a bit of foreshadowing there about your lack of top end for future matches coming up in this video?
No, but way to ruin the suspense. So we're going into the 5 resource or the 5 resource turn here, I think, right? And I have one of
5 resources.
Yeah, I have my beautiful Old Republic credit here. Rickety Quadrumper in space with the X-Wing. I believe Jillian also missed on the Rickety Quadrumper ability on her attack last turn, so that could have been a little bit more of a buff. So I think you are seeing a little bit of like a foundational shell of what a Vel space that could look like, Yeah,
the Rickety Quadrumper is a reprint, right?
Yeah.
When this card originally came out, I remember trying it in sealed myself and realizing pretty quickly that you only get the buffs when it's a non-unit that gets ripped, right? That gets shown.
Mm-hmm.
And in sealed, you typically have mostly units, and so this thing almost never got buffs.
Yeah.
Right? I was very disappointed in this unit and stopped including it in my builds.
I was wondering why they reprinted it, but I'm taking 2 here, bringing me to 7. And I follow up with Val swinging 2 to base, bringing Jillian to 10. So pretty close race. And then the X-Wing follows up with another 2 to base, bringing me to 9. A lot of action dirtling going on here.
Yep.
You get the Street Gang. So this is the reprint board here. Every single card on Jillian's side is the reprint. And one of them is about to get erased with that Mildon Rider. I don't know how it's pronounced, but it's the Mildon Rider. And right here, I think I considered bouncing Val here to avoid the issue, but I guess I decided against it.
Yeah, you're enough in the lead here. I agree with keeping it on the board and just pressing your advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, worst thing that happens is Val's killed. Jillian gets a shield on like one of her space units where you're not interacting anyway.
Yeah. So where are you guys going to put your credit tokens? For this, I decided just to put it right in front of my resource row, but I really wasn't sure.
I line them up next to my base.
That's a good one.
I've been keeping them down next to resources because, it's essentially a resource most of the time. So
yeah, I'll forget about it down there personally. So I'd rather just line it up somewhere I'm going to look at it all the time. Like I put the initiative token up there too, just so I remember where it is.
You're definitely going to need some getting used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Having initiative way down towards the bottom. You're one of the weirdos, Jordan, that does that. I think most people.
I just like it over there in the corner, right? Pushing 6 more to base, bringing Jillian to 16 here. Really just trying to close up as soon as possible, I think.
Yeah, and we're all playing with 27 HP bases, so people are going to get killed in this set.
It happens very fast.
Yeah,
at least it feels like it.
Well, here she comes, but that Qui-Gon's still sitting in the way.
Yeah. He really did work for me. He's a great rare to get, I think.
I've been testing him a little bit in constructed and getting that ability to kind of filter your deck. The other thing I don't like about him, though, is a couple of times I've played him and I get to see the top 3 cards and then realize I'm screwed. So,
Yeah.
I'd rather not know.
Yeah.
You discard only one of them, but 2 of them you still have to draw.
You're like, oh, now I know what I'm drawing and I don't want any of it. That's a bummer.
So I defeat one of my credits and exhaust some resources to Tree Remembers, Rickety Quad Jumper. Just being extra careful, trying to dirtle some actions while taking damage. Comes Vel. Pretty strong deploy. I mean, it's almost a guaranteed 4/7, 5/7, but that kill switch going to be so clutch, I think, in all of the limited meta of the set.
Yeah,
I
tapping
think
down leaders constantly.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting one to be like, because some of it works great on a turn, but it can't be your only source of control, I guess, if you're playing something like Aura, I think.
Yeah,
but
it's more
I
like
do think
tempo,
it's a great supplement here.
Yeah.
Yeah, right here, Jillian really needs to way to prevent a little bit of this damage. Otherwise, your 5 HP unit is going to close things out next turn between the damage here plus then.
Yeah. And what's cool about Aura here is that I could flip even if the X-Wing is buffed and still kill. That's going to be a pretty strong limited card too if you are drawing, if you're playing green-red. You can basically swing for 10 to another unit. So pretty crazy.
So I'm assuming to play that she used her base, but I'm not. I'm not seeing. Oh, there's the marking. Oh no, that's damage.
I think
That's
she
just
just
damage
to mark it, or maybe she forgot to play it. I didn't catch it.
Something responsible for the board state. Something.
Yes.
Yeah, she hadn't used the base yet, so it's definitely a legal play. I'm just assuming.
No, I was blaming Jordan.
We're mutually responsible for the board state here, right? So, I mean, that does kind of change the math a little bit. I have one really strong unit on the board with that Mildon Rider, but I'm deciding to...
It's a big unit.
Yeah. Bringing her to 20. I'm sitting at 12. Really just need to get 7 in here before...
Yeah, outside of Sentinel, I'm not really sure she can really push enough damage fast enough. Because now that she's got a big unit, like, that's some pretty good space attack. It's just...
And there's the marking.
Oh yeah.
I like how you're cleaning up her damage tokens after getting called out in Utah PQ. You
mean like 2 years ago? Like
that was a while ago.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we were talking about the right PQ here.
The tree remembers.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good. So I'm gonna kill Aura and kill this X-Wing. Really great ability here. Wait, am I reconsidering?
You just wanted to flash it. I just want you to know you're screwed. Let me show you.
Oh, maybe she was asking about what it did. You know, what the...
you were showing her.
So I'm now sitting at
maybe
15.
That's how she decided which one to attack with first.
Yeah.
Aggressive negotiations. No, I'm just kidding. She can't do that. Sorry.
Honestly, when I saw that 6/6, I started to get a little worried about games 2 and 3, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I knew that I didn't have much in space that could deal with that. Luckily, I drew one of these Sentinels to try to be like a little bit of a roadblock.
Yeah.
But
all these 1 health units feel pretty flimsy to me and limited, though. With multiple that can just kill those.
Aura and Han
that are going to get
mind. Like,
really just a victim of the pool, right? I actually drew 2 of them in my pool, so they came in handy. They weren't bad, but definitely did not what you want to count on here.
Well, Vader as well, right? I think.
Oh, yeah, Invader.
So, getting ready for game 2 here. I think on my end, I sideboarded in my Sarlacc just to get a little bit more top end in the area. I also did not use my splash base that game at all, which made me a little bit more motivated to get something to use it on that was worthy.
Yeah, I found that the splash base was effective. I also ended up upping my splash cards from, I'd originally designed my deck with 4, and I ended up bringing in a 5th card. So that making sure I used it every game effectively.
Yeah. That's going to be a number that we all have to kind of look out for. And do you want to play cards that you could play without paying for it? Oh yeah, that would have been a beautiful hand without a turn 1 play.
I think it's going to take a few times to get a balance or like a feel for the balance of the off aspect ones and how many times you plan on doing that.
Yeah.
And then certain leaders lend themselves to playing even more of them, just like through credit generation or something like that, to kind of offset the aspect penalty.
Yeah, like, are you playing stuff like, are you counting stuff like Beguile from last set, for instance? Are you counting Kill Switch as a card that you're splashing, or a card you're just willing to play off aspect, you know?
Yep.
But in our pod, we talked about these games are going a little bit later too, so you're going to have more opportunity to be playing at higher resources, so that you can do that sort of thing too.
Yeah.
At least in the games we played, it seems to be the case.
Yeah, we'll see how it develops over this weekend. Let us know in the comments how your experience goes at Prerelease. It's always interesting to see the different perspectives. So it was a tough resource decision for me there, because I really wanted to see how that 5-6 with, or 4-6 with Grit played. I didn't get a chance to really play it all day. I think maybe in a game later I got it, but it didn't necessarily do anything. As we get into this match, I'm definitely thinking about how I need to put the pedal on the pedal to the floor a little bit more, because I'm worried about that top end coming in.
This 2-3 for 2. I don't recall, what was his ability.
It's a restore 1.
Okay,
I believe.
okay,
I think that's Sharky. It's a bounty hunter, so you should know it. Is it a conditional restore?
Code, right?
Yeah.
Nope, it's just restore 1.
Yeah.
Okay. I was making sure it didn't say saboteur, because that's a problem for Judy Hopps.
Yeah. So then I use my splash base here. You know, probably not the best use of the splash base, but I do think that she was probably the best 2-drop I had access to in my pool. I could have played Chio also, but I just wanted the shield here.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, in this case, she drops a 2-3. You know, Chio can kill the 2-3, and then Aura can finish it off. So you still had a way to clean up the unit.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think having a unit that survives the attack either way, and doesn't necessarily benefit Vel, was probably also an acceptable, at least, alternative.
Sure.
I don't know if I want to give Vel cards, because like she can spiral.
Yep. Taking 2 to base here.
Yeah.
Choosing to swing right in, so we're not going to use the Vel ability right away. You know, we talked about it earlier. It is dangerous, I think. Like with Leia and some of these other units, I feel a lot of the times you would buff immediately, like to try to get out of range of Judy Hopps, despite Aura, get a little more damage and that sort of thing. But it is more dangerous with Vel, because you're, you know, essentially limited ramping your opponent. So you got to be careful about not giving them 4, right?
Especially when I haven't spent anything, right?
The other thought is that she knows that there's a Axe Forgets probably
which I had
coming,
again,
so.
And I bounced that to clear the board a little bit. Then I put this Watchful on Judy. It's just a +2 health buff. Really not great use of resources, but had to do it. Didn't have any units to play to really develop there.
Mm-hmm.
What was the ship that you bounced? I don't recall what it was called.
It's the 3/2 Overwhelm, I believe. It's a 3 cost. It's a neutral card. I forgot the name.
Okay. The bounce card bounces a unit that costs
3 or less.
Okay. I thought it was 2 or less. That's why I was questioning.
I think it's 3 or less, but I might have cheated.
I believe it's 3 or less as well. Yeah. Oh, wait, no, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's 2 or less, actually, now that I think about it.
I'm pretty sure it's 2, so
yeah.
Well, maybe
we're going to
it's
call
a
Jordan out for
then.
cheating.
Yeah, maybe
I think
it's a 2-drop. I don't know.
Jordan may have to concede this game.
Oh, yeah, I lost anyway. So.
Oh, talk about ruining the suspense.
Well, yeah,
right.
You built it up. So yeah, we get this kind of interesting 2-drop here. Is that no? That's the 4-drop with
It's the 4-drop
with hidden.
4/4.
Yeah, and then you get the buff going. I'm able to.
That's a fantastic use of Vel's.
Of course, yeah,
there.
she's protected, right? And there's not really much I could do about it. So I play this. I think it's the Canyon Pod Racer. Just deals 2 to an exhausted unit. Pretty solid card, ping wise.
Yep, very solid. And while that sucks that the 5/5 now takes damage, she can throw 5 damage into base right away.
Exactly.
And probably take something out with it whenever it gets traded into. Because I believe the Pod Racer is what, 4/4?
Yeah, it's a 4/4, and Judy Hopps right now is a 3/3. So
right. So I mean, either way, if one of them were to attack into the bounty hunter, then jeez, and Zeb shows up.
Yeah, so this is where things really went downhill for me.
Yeah.
Taking out Judy, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And then I'm basically forced to trade into it.
Yeah, you either trade into it or you have to play a card that has an answer for it, or
Yeah.
the Candlelight Security is a good play here though too, because it does trade with the bounty hunter unless Vel buffs it, which is something I would do, but the other option is to buff Zeb.
I also get a credit on defense, so then would give me 3 credit. I would end the turn with 3 credits, which is
extra credits.
Tough pill to swallow.
But you'd still kill it with aura too, so I don't think I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at this point, I think I would buff one of these with Vel before attacking. And the reason is right now you can clear the board.
You can do that anyway.
Yeah.
Well, he wouldn't have if Jillian had used Vel before attacking a second ago. So she could have used Vel on either Zeb or the bounty hunter, and one of those two would have lived.
No, you only had 1 HP left if you buff. Aura would have killed off whichever one you buffed.
That's right.
Yeah.
They were both still dying.
I think
never mind, I take it all back.
And part of that there is I think Jillian knows how much top end she has.
Yeah, she can play late.
So it's one of those situations where I think she's just trying to maintain a little bit of dominance there. The scores are really low, right? Sitting at 3-2 respectively. In her hand, it looks like she has the Ambusher, Mastery, Haymaker. So quite a stacked hand over there.
Yeah, it was very similar to the strategy I took with Vader, right? I was just perfectly happy with trading, keeping the board clear up until Vader's flip. And then I'm just going to say, can you answer my bomb, right?
Yeah. So this is where things kind of illustrate how good Vel can be, because obviously when there's downside, right, it could be an issue with the credits, but I just don't have anything to make her pay, right? I have a 4-cost unit, a 2-cost unit, and a 4-cost event. That is not.
She theoretically knows how big your top end is too, so maybe she just doesn't care about it.
Well, that's something to think about too, right? As you get into, especially obviously, you're not going to be looking over your friend's shoulder at the pre-release to get their top end, but after games 1 and 2, it's like you should be thinking about that, because right here, all of a sudden, my turn is completely just washed away, right? And I get another credit, but I have nothing to play. Right, so yeah, so it's I think I just dropped this 2-1 here if I could remember correctly, but at this moment I had a feeling that I was going to be in trouble.
The unit she just traded into, was that guy a Sentinel, or was she just taking favorable trades?
She's just taking favorable trades. That's the 3/5 restore 2 for 4.
Okay.
The Vigilant Scouts.
Yeah, she's holding Mastery. I feel like Mastery is going to be a really, really scary card on leaders specifically.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you start slamming that on a leader, there's so few ways to deal with this. I only asked if she traded if it was a Sentinel because I thought maybe she had to. But in retrospect, I probably would have just slammed that Mastery on Vel and just started smacking your base and said, do something about it.
Yeah, probably. And this is a 3-drop, the ship that I bounced, so I did play incorrectly. My apologies. And we do get that Mastery going on. A little bit of weird sequencing, but, gets the attack in, stops me from doing much.
I mean, the fact that she traded, I guess it doesn't matter that she played it before or after, right?
Yeah.
If you were going to hit base, it would matter.
Yeah, exactly. And, I guess in theory, I could have had a Mastery or some way to, she's already been tapped down once in game 1.
Yep. With initiative, just making sure she got that Vel attack in before you, responded.
Yeah.
I get it. Well, as the beans have been spilled on this game already, I imagine Val is about to just go to town on your base here in the next couple turns.
Yeah. How big is she now? She's currently an 8.
Yeah. So
8, 11.
Yeah, she's an 11. I flip Aura, get my 1 kill in for happiness sake, and I'm sitting here, Aura 3 damage sounds good. Not really much. I do have quite a bit of resources here. Like I'm sitting at 8 resources, which feels pretty good.
Yeah.
If only you had a way to use them efficiently.
Yeah. And Haymaker coming down to buff Vel and kill Aura. So that brutal. That hurts pretty bad. Aura goes down. I'm about to take 6. About to take a lot. I ambush in for 5. I'm not sure that kills Vel though, does it?
It shouldn't.
Nope.
I say Vel's got a lot of hit points to work through now.
Yeah, Vel's sitting at 12 total health with 8 on her, 4 remaining.
About to be 13.
Yeah. If she wants to give me credit, we'll see how generous Jillian's feeling.
She's so generous. She punches you in the face a little extra hard and gives you credit for it.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
I mean, I guess you're doing the math to make sure that Vel's going to kill you in 2 swings, right?
Yeah.
That's you're looking at it going, do I need to buffer to make sure you're dead in 2 swings or not?
Get the vanilla Wookiee coming down.
Maybe the Wookiee starts getting buffed now. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
We're trying to figure out how many buffs we got.
No, I was saying if we forgot that one was from the Haymaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then she elected to do an additional buff, I think. Yep, and then we adjust the scoreboard a little bit later, I believe up to 12.
Yeah, and this feels very much like Leia last set right here with Vel, right? When you get the buff on there, the +3/+3, very similar to like with Leia flipping into sudden ferocity or plot armor, or the green one that gives you the power, plus just slamming buffs, and all of a sudden you just have this uncontrollable gigantic unit causing problems.
So thankfully I had another Mildon rider to clear Vel here, but took a big swing in the process for sure.
It don't feel good. Plus, she's just murdering everything that runs into her.
Yeah. I see a giant walker in her hand, and unless you got a second good answer.
Yeah, taking 2 up to 13 here. And the true member's not a great answer for for a walker. We do just adjust that scoreboard from the buff that Vel had up to 14. Not gonna matter much as dink and dunk for a little bit of 2 damage in space there.
That's a lot of resources.
Yeah, and I think this is where I can see. I think I draw 2 cards. I say, oh, we're good. Yeah, I drew the dispensable mercenary and the vortex troop guards or whatever, and I think that's just gonna seal it.
Yep. And I mean, this is kind of the example, like the great example of what I think Vel can do.
Absolutely.
And what makes her particularly dangerous is that a lot of times it's not super pool dependent. She can kind of make an okay pool where everything suddenly becomes a threat. I'm like, that's pretty scary.
So I think one thing to think about though is like the sequencing, and as well the payback, what someone can do if they have good enough cards to use these credits on. Like what we saw in this turn is there were some turns that I was playing, I could have played 2 above curve and I ended up playing 2 below curve, right? So it's just, I think it's going to be interesting, and I think you're going to want to sequence your credits in a way that's, to Kyle's point earlier, different than how Leia did, because you don't want to buff when they have a full stack of resources open, Yeah.
That's exactly it. It's a sequencing and timing thing that you just have to learn over getting your face kicked in from it.
Yeah.
Well, and part of this is why when we were doing our leader rankings, I was hesitant to give Vel full S like Leia, right? Because while she's a similar ability, there's going to be times where you'll get punished for using it, or just not be able to use it for fear of being punished. Whereas Leia, there's no punishment.
Leia didn't care.
If you've got the resource, use it,
Well, yeah, I think Leia is definitely better, but, it's a relative comparison, not an exact comparison.
Yep. I mean, that's why I still had, I'm with Kyle on this one. That's why I had Vel on the upper end of our A tier.
Yeah, not quite hovering above the rest like our dear princess.
Well, we'll see, right? I think we adjusted our expectations quite a bit throughout. Again, using that splash base for Judy Hobbs here coming down the Leppy Lookout, followed by Bodhi. So this is a nice little, sequencing battle here because Leppy Lookout could swing in and then Orky clean it up, but I could get credited in the process,
Yeah, it's a little game of chicken you guys are gonna have to play, right? Because even if you want
game of
to,
rabbit.
Yeah, game of rabbit. Rabbit and droids, everybody's favorite childhood game. We have the droid laser turret coming down. Another pretty sketchy unit in certain matchups.
I don't know about the buff. She's thinking about buffing. Probably not here, right? Because she's going to have to hit that Sentinel. Okay. All right. Well, that unit's just going to get popped, though, unfortunately.
I think that, Jillian probably just has to accept here that Bodhi's not surviving.
Yeah. Well, and you can't play nothing. So she could have attacked with Bodhi first, given Bodhi himself Sentinel. But I suppose it wouldn't have mattered because the other unit has Sentinel too. So your attack sequencing you could have attacked whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, getting the Sentinel and 2 shielded units really makes it tough on Vel to punch through without any actual event or card removal.
And pings.
So this is how you slow it down, right?
Yeah, and this whole situation too. I think if you're in this situation where Val cannot deal with all these 1 health shielded units and really gets punished, is a challenge. Where again, if you're playing against another Aura or Vader, this opening is terrible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, at this point, I think it might be too little too late even if she does get to Vel plays Mastery again and is like, well, now you gotta run through 13 Sentinels and hopefully kill something before Aura gets you.
So I think I'm just going to base here. 2 to base, bringing the pressure back to Jillian to make the choice on how she wants to deal with the Sentinel.
Mm-hmm.
Decides to trade
that was
in.
probably still the right call there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to buff it. I mean, with Aura's ability.
Then Leppy swings in for 3, bringing Jillian to 5.
And 5 doesn't sound like a lot, but when you realize it's all of them are 27, it's
You're
gonna feel like a lot real fast.
1/4 of the way there,
Yeah.
No. Yeah, that's the pay 1 for a shielded unit, I believe. Or no, just when played, right? Or no, you have to pay 1, so maybe she did pay enough for it, but no big deal. Qui-Gon's coming out.
The unit itself costs 1, so yeah.
Oh, does
1
it?
for the unit. One
for me,
for
it's I have a little glare here. You're right. My bad.
And Qui-Gon again becoming a problem.
And then the Gorilla.
Yet another Sentinel.
The Gorilla Wookiee, yeah. So I think the Qui-Gon being a rare, you can't really count on it, but very, very, strong Typho vibes for this set.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, very strong.
Because Lando's going to be really hard to get, just as hard as Typho, basically. So something to think about.
Lando's going to be a menace in sealed. Like I hope I get him and my opponents do not.
Yes, I hope no one gets him. Going into the 5 resource turn here. Qui-Gon still protecting little Judy Hobbs.
And even with the 2 units Jillian has on board, it's not currently enough damage without a buff to even kill Qui-Gon.
Here comes Finn. Clearing that Wookiee and giving a shield to the Leppy Lookout.
Another shield on it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so bad. There's just not a lot you can do. When the ground gets this clogged up, there's not a lot you can do with the buffing. She really was looking for a space unit to kind of spread it out a little bit, but unfortunately that did not happen.
Yeah, this will be kind of nice here. Doesn't take out Qui-Gon, luckily for me, but nice 4 ambush here with this pod race. The pod racers are great this set. I'm really excited for seeing how they all play together in limited.
Yeah, they're kind of interesting.
Now, from Jillian's perspective, at least it's the Vel flip turn, and we don't have to worry about Aura for 2 more turns. So this is one of the downsides of Aura's. You're gonna have to deal with her leader for a few turns before you see yours. So it could be a little window for a comeback.
Yeah, so I clear the pod racer with the shield from Leppy Lookout.
Yeah, still not enough to kill. Wait, how much did the pod racer ambush for? I thought
4.
it was more than 2. So why does Qui-Gon only have 2?
It's probably 3 plus, the 3 and the 1 not turned over.
Yeah, but now she's thinking she can't trade, and now she's buffing because she thought it was only 2 damage. So I think the error on board is causing some challenges here.
Yeah, that's some
Because
challenges.
Qui-Gon should have 4 damage.
Yep, absolutely. Maybe we get it adjusted.
Well, yeah, I don't think so. I think you guys probably.
There we go.
Now he did she did the buff for 3 to kill it, whereas she wouldn't have had to buff hit before. You wouldn't have hit base. So.
As you know from producing the streams pretty often while you're playing, you could miss quite a few things. And this time we had a full house here with
I didn't get
my dog, your children, Sharky. A lot going on in the Jordan.
I always enjoy the crowd. The crowd in chat accuse me of cheating every week while trying to produce.
You just want to beat Jillian that bad, yeah. We gotta keep.
I actually try to help with that to make sure that you know that you shouldn't cheat.
Yeah, thanks. But it is hard to be fair to Jordan here.
Oh yeah,
a couple of these here, and it's hard to be producing, playing, running the damage counters, everything at the same time.
As you'll notice, we didn't run the damage counters in game 1. Again, just Finn really doing a good job reshielding Leppy Lookout here. What are you saying, Sharky?
I was all things being said here, like this isn't the worst board state to get to with Vel's flip.
Yeah,
like it's not the best. Obviously, you'd rather have a lot more damage, but given what her top end is and what we all know, like this could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
If she gets to the top end or has a way to deal with like yours at the same time, or even in a remotely similar fashion, I think there's a chance that she could come back. However, needs to also draw the top end and be able to deal with yours.
Yeah, Ghost coming in really clutch, experiencing and shielding 2 units. Going to be a menace.
Oh yeah, because it can do itself, can't it?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of a mistake there because you were about to play the tap down. And then you decided not to attack. So she knows you have the tap down in your hand and yet chooses not to attack with Val first.
Yeah. Well, to be fair,
once you showed me the tap down
in the set, maybe you don't recognize what the tap down is super clearly.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm guessing your next option is, oh no, but you don't tap down. Okay, so you must have chosen not to. You wanted to get the Rancor on board.
Yeah, and that is where the credit buff does come into play. So it could be a little bit of a swing there. Although the shield is a problem as well.
Yep. So I think what I do here with Val is I probably just hit base, buff Val to get her to 6 attack. That way next turn I can use Val to kill the Rancor. Get to 7.
Looks like that's what's being considered. As I get that nice Old Republic credit from Premier Games.
Oh, she says it.
She popped the shield.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah,
I probably wouldn't have chosen that.
Maybe she's like thinking about it a little bit.
My opinion, you go base here.
Yeah.
Yep, agreed.
The Rancor is going to hit you either way. It's going to hurt.
I think maybe she was trying to like tempt me to actually hit Vel with Rancor as opposed to hitting base.
It's an interesting thought. I think that you preserve the shield as best you can, in my opinion.
Yeah, so. I agree. I think if I remember correctly, I think I'm just like very relieved that I could hit base here.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's assume she had hit base last turn, 4, 5, 6. This turn, if she threatens to hit base again with Vel, that's 7 more, plus the ship is 5. So you'd be at 18. She'd be threatening lethal the following turn.
Mm-hmm.
Though you would be as well with the Rancor, so
probably a toss up either way.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to go back and do the math. Had we hit base there, Qui-Gon had not hit base earlier, where we'd be at from a math to,
Sure.
lethal perspective.
Here comes another one of those 3/3 Sentinels.
I actually
Okay.
really do like those guys, but they're not quite what you want to play when there's a rabbit that does 3 damage right there looking at you.
Yeah.
Well, you're 9 away from lethal. So had the Leppy Lookout hit base, then you'd be lethal with just the Rancor. So at least that'll, stave that off a little bit.
Yeah, well, it is Aura's flip turn.
Yep.
So being able to
There's
do
a lot
that,
of things to think about there.
and that's part of you learning the new set as well, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Here's the kill switch coming in, exhausting the ghost.
Yeah, this combined with the Aura flip, you should be able to flip Aura, clear the Sentinel, hit base for 3.
Yeah.
Unless she kills the Leppy Lookout here, and that'll set up lethal. Even Aura could hit base herself to set up lethal, so I guess it doesn't even matter if the Leppy Lookout dies.
Yeah, and I think Rancor is just really, really good. Right? Just
Rancor's awesome.
Yeah.
Plus, I think it's kind of got cool art. I'm a fan of the card all around.
And we did kind of underrate Jabba a little bit, I believe. But if you get in pre-release specifically, not limited at large, but if you get a Jabba and you get ambush the Rancor, isn't that just going to be really challenging to deal with?
Yeah, it's really great when you can pull it off.
Vel died. What did Vel attack? She must have killed something if she died. What's going on here?
Yeah, what did Vel get killed by?
I'm assuming she killed the Rancor, and we just haven't removed it from the mat. Because that's the only thing that would have killed her. So she must have attacked the Rancor, and apparently this Rancor is immune to dying, and will stay on the board.
Well, no, Rancor only takes 6.
She had 6 on her earlier.
Yeah, but
she?
he has 7 health though.
Yeah, but
you already had damage on it. Well.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. I think it was over anyway, but
yeah,
there was some math that got a little funky there.
All right, we'll take into the next round. Here for matchup 2, Kyle versus Sharky. Kyle on Vader yellow, Sharky on Boba red. We've seen both of these pools in the last video we published. If you missed it, go check it out. If you're interested, if not, that works as well. Got the initiative. Looks like, I'm not sure if you guys did odds or evens or high roll, but we see a token from Premier Games on the Vader side. So maybe Kyle has initiative to start.
Definitely odds evens. That's what I roll every time.
Yep. And I always call odds, so I need to maybe change that up. Maybe
I do the same thing. I call odds as well when I get the call.
So pretty interesting hand on Kyle's side. We're seeing that Darth Maul. We're seeing the out of aspect, lost and forgotten. A lot of really nice looking cards in that end, but not good enough to get started here.
My hand is rough, and granted, I don't know. I kept this one because my whole deck is rough, especially in the early game. But it's not the way I wanted to start without initiative. Let's put it that way.
Sure. I think when you're talking about taking a mulligan like that, you might have 6, 7, 8, 2 drops. It's a little risky. You think to yourself, like, it's bad now, but it could be a lot worse potentially.
I have 5 turn 1 plays in this deck.
Yeah, so could be a lot worse. We see
not a lot you can do about it.
That's the new Nile unit, 2/2 with raid, and then a 2/2 with raid 2.
Yep.
Yeah, when building this deck, my early drops were relatively weak as well. What I learned quickly with Vader was that my goal was just to keep the board clear, trade wherever I can, use Vader's ability to make sure I keep the board clear, because I'm going to flip Vader as my bomb, and I'm going to end the game that way. So I really am just trying to dirtle here, essentially, for the first 5 turns of the game. Just trade everything, kill everything. That's all I want to do.
Okay.
Yep, and I'm trying to kill something, and it's not going to happen ever, it feels like.
So we have, is that the Outer Bound Partisan?
Yeah, the honor bound partisan, the one that when it dies gives me a discount on something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the other end, we just have that standard, 3 cost, 3/4 Saboteur and Villainous, and then we're getting that. Is that the exercise thing where you exhaust and then get to buff? That's an interesting card, especially when you could go wide a little bit. Then we see Kyle swinging 3 to base, so it's 3-2-1 in favor of Kyle. That Cavern X-Wing coming out. Interesting card overall, right, Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty weak only having 1 HP on the butt, because with Vader here, I can just kill it. If I recall, I do not have a card in my hand right now I'm willing to give up, and I'm going to try to kill it in a future turn. Okay, so going into this next turn here, well, no, it's still the same turn. We played the pig down. This guy's a very, very capable unit, giving you raid 2 and restore 2. I think this is going to be one of the better units we're going to see out of this set.
I think it's uncommon as well. Female Gamorrean guard. Always interesting to see.
Yeah, and I was able to play it out of aspect using the base. Let's see if we just failed to mark the base or if we get that corrected here. I believe I did announce it at the time, so I'm sure we'll see an X hit the board here in just a second.
It'll get there someday. Yeah, I'm trying to salvage what I don't really love about this hand. It's just like can't quite do what I want to do out of it, and the 3/5 stat line on Hunter there is particularly tough.
Yeah, and the good news is this is your flip turn, right? So my leader's not flipping for a while. So right now is your opportunity to try to take more control of this game, right? Get a leader flip out there, get more units than I have out, hopefully, and try to take control of things.
And there's Flash the Vents. You get an on defeat with that honor bound partisan, right?
Yep, that's why I leave it there to remind myself that I get a little discount, or however you want to. I basically get a free resource out of it, so assuming I can use it.
So on defeat, it reads that you could just pay the next unit you play costs 1 less.
Correct.
Nice, and then 3 to base there, taking you to 6, I believe.
Yep.
I'm trying to see my hand here. I'm waiting for you to flip Boba because I've got my ambusher. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, you had that a lot. It felt like. But yeah, the ambusher coming down doing that much, and Boba's effectively dead now. So like, take the biggest thing out and get a credit.
Yeah, well, it was smart to trade back, right? Because obviously, if you don't, I'm going to be able to use Vader's ability to finish off Boba without losing my unit.
Yeah, and the other option was to kill the 3/4, but I'm like 5 is bigger than 3, so let's hit the 5.
Then you get that Draven doing the ping, so it does its job. It's a 2 cost unit that maybe does 4 to base if you're lucky.
Yeah. And then I didn't use the base. I had the discount plus the credit, so I threw Urk out there for full price.
It makes sense.
Because I don't miss an aspect there.
Get it out, get the credit off the table.
Yeah, I think the thought is I was gonna try to maybe do something with the base later on, but
and getting the swing for 6 with Urk never hurts.
No, it does hurt, but it doesn't hurt me.
Yeah.
And once again, we're going to see the power of the Vader ability because I have the opportunity here, and there we go to clear your unit using that ability.
Yep. And then I bring out the bounty hunters that search for bounty hunters, whose name I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but the 5/5 search 5 for a bounty hunter.
It's a good card. It's reminiscent of the Daigen Master, the Force user that kind of did the same thing, right?
Except yeah, it's similar-ish.
Especially when you have top end like Chrysanthemum to search for.
Yep. Chrysanthemum shows up, and then he plays the big Berserker guy, which means I need to claim and kill him. I just keep having to claim and kill, and it's like, well, I know Vader's coming, and it ain't going to be pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. Writing's on the wall now, right? Your leader's dead. I've got more units on board, and I haven't even flipped yet.
Yep.
Well, that lines up pretty well. It's pretty good value trade for Sharky there, and he gets her credit. Now we're seeing Big Daddy Chrysanthemum come down, taking out that 3/4.
Surprise! Yeah. At least it gets overwhelmed too as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that part's nice.
And Vader has such a big butt, I can now kill Chrysanthemum without being removed from the board.
Without being removed directly.
It should be 7, right? There we go.
I'm like,
and we We definitely have a play error, right? Because when I played the pig earlier, we didn't use the base, and now I'm using the base again to play Maul. So both players are responsible
Ooh,
for
yeah.
Good news, guys. I don't think it changed much.
Yeah.
I don't think it mattered at all. Yeah, at this point, I have complete control of the game either way. And I think I had
Yeah.
another good play.
You have
in my hand
mastery in your
anyway,
hand.
so-
You've got a whole bunch of
I
stuff
will
in the
say
hand.
though,
I'm like,
when you print
yeah.
when they print cards that like aren't in the design colors of that, like for instance, I think Blue Leader's a great example. It's not blue, right? I think like it's hard to
Yeah,
keep
100%.
that straight sometimes.
all of
So this
the
is
X color X wings are crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, this
Whoever
basically just
thought of
definitely-
that is crazy.
well, it's definitely something to pay attention to in your pre-release
Yeah.
now, right? Because this is something that's very easy to do, right? Is to not pay the 2 extra because we're playing with lots of different colors. We have a base that allows us to do so. So be vigilant,
Unfamiliar cards.
not only for yourselves but for your
And
opponents.
same thing
right?
with like the disclose, right? Like it's the same example from Secrets of Power. Like, oh, it's this disclose instead of this disclose. Oh, it's this many versus this many, or getting the force token and let it's one of those things that's going to take a couple tries to get right.
Yep. And at this point, I'm just playing to mess around with Kyle because this
Yep.
game is legitimately over because Maul is going to take everything I play.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it for game 1.
Yeah, and the thing about Maul is like you can't really expect to get him. He's a legendary, really tough to bank on that. But if you do,
Oh yeah, he
you
takes
should,
over
try, you
games
should
for sure.
probably try to figure out a way to make it work.
Yep. Takes over games or ends games like in this case.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do the let's see what happens if we played it in yellow instead.
Yeah.
And you were even talking about this before the game because prior to this, while Jillian and Jordan were playing upstairs, we were just jamming games for fun. And I think you were realizing quickly that perhaps yellow was your preferred build. So
No,
you already
there
had
was
this
no
pre-planned.
realization at this point. It was a desperation play more than anything because I'm pretty sure yellow was just as bad.
Well,
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of different aspects you could do with Boba, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to having bounty hunters, which is a challenge to lock in because, like as you were just fiddling through your cards, you saw the very solid pod racers, not bounty hunters. You see the Draven X-Wings, not bounty hunter. You have these solid units that maybe in other decks they would fit great, but they don't really enable Boba here.
Oh no, not at all. And I wasn't saying Boba yellow was bad. I'm saying my deck with yellow was bad.
Yeah.
I just didn't have a lot of the options I would have liked to be able to use, and I don't think my pool would have supported a lot of what I did have. Regardless of whether I played Boba, I probably could have played Aura, but it seemed better to be avoiding a double up on Aura. Plus, I don't really want to play that hard. Like, I would have had to play super hard control with the pool I had, and that wasn't happening.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I guess it's also interesting to see, like, is it really even hard control when you're playing limited like this? Is it really hard control?
the deck I would have had to play would have been hard control. I had about 8 events.
Oh, okay.
It would have been
Got it.
super event heavy. Plus 2 of the what's the one where it exhausts and gives -1/-1?
That's kill switch. So
Kill switch.
as we get shifted over here, we're just gonna fast forward and get the game started. Back for game 2 here. Sharky switch to Boba yellow. We're getting started with Sharky on initiative. What made you switch? What were the cards in yellow that you thought gave you a little bit of a leg up or a little bit just of a stronger position in general?
I had roughly the same amount in red and yellow. The difference in this case was I wanted to test out the pod racer.
Got it.
To see if it changes anything in the early game. And I don't think it was going to change much. But even higher up the curve, a lot of the stuff I had was either red, yellow, or green, yellow, or red, green. So I had a roughly equal mix of things I would have had to use the base for anyway. And my bounty hunters were mostly green, except for the 1/2/2 raid 2, but that didn't change a whole heck of a lot. So I was like, you know what? Let's try it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. And I mean, you're using it for Chrysanthemum in either build.
Yeah, exactly. So I did have Forlom for the build, and I liked trying to see if I can play that on curve, or without having to use the base. But I did get a hyperfoil, Canyon Frontrunner.
Nice.
Not that it mattered because Kyle just nukes it, but
Yeah.
or
Well,
no, he
I
just
didn't
returned it.
nuke it.
That's right.
Yeah, it was the card that returned a 2-cost unit to your hand. So
Yeah.
it was my only opening play, but it stuck with the strategy. Keep the board clear till we get to Vader.
Yeah.
And I put it back. And I'm outclassed immediately.
Oh, the windfall. No, that's not windfall. It's just the make a credit. Yeah.
Unmarked credits. I did acquire 1 credit.
Yeah, well, and I'm dropping 000, who's going to be able to contest your turn 1 play without dying.
Contest is a very kind way of putting it. It's absolutely destroy. He's a torture bot. Come on now.
Well, we talked about it in our pod. There are now 3-cost 4/4s in this set, and all 3 of them are going to be very good for exactly this reason, because you can 2 for 1 a lot of the time with them.
Yep.
Or trade up if necessary.
But hey, look, Forlom showed up.
And Forlom, very, very strong unit. You know, I believe an uncommon as well. So
but once again, Vader's power very strong. I can clear off his Forlom.
Yeah.
Keep it off the board.
Yep. And I just to make it clear, I ambushed early using the credit, then Boba regenerated the credit when I killed the 000. But
that's a pretty nice perk of Boba, especially if you can make it work.
It's not my favorite way to have had to spend it, but it was the best way I could find in the moment. So
yeah, that Sapper and Forlom both going to be good units in limited, I believe. So probably Forlom a bit better with the ability, but
the ability is good too. I just think like the health is also really good for it.
Totally.
And looking at my hand, I'm excited to see the 5/4 ambusher on your Boba flip turn once again. So I have a unit that can essentially, with Vader's ability, clear your leader without dying.
Yep. It is the drawback there. So I went and grabbed the bounty hunters that do 2 damage if you control a villainy unit.
That's the Ruthless Duo, I believe.
Yes, those guys.
Pretty solid.
They're solid. One of the other options I remember having was the other, another copy of the bounty hunters that search for bounty hunters. So I decided to change it up, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it was the right call at the time either.
Yeah, and that Sapper pushes 4 to base. Boba's gonna get ambushed into here for 5.
Yeah.
And Boba has to survive for his ability, I assume.
He does not have to survive.
Okay, so you get a credit there anyway, which is nice.
Yeah, so I generated credit out of it. It's not the worst, but it's still not a good board position to be in right now.
Yeah.
Especially with Vader imminently coming. He's not out yet, but I need to be able to get at least a bit of damage on the base this next turn or 2, or have some kind of way of taking over the board if I'm going to have any chance. But
yeah. But it is interesting with Boba if you could set that up with a credit before you flip, a credit after you flip, and then you could play a 7-drop.
Yep, Boba can theoretically do any number of credits on his turn. So
yeah. So I'm discarding It's a Rock here, which gives 1 damage to the unit, 1 on base to set up the trade with my unit on board.
Yep, and that signals to me that I should attack probably.
Yeah.
But the other thing this does, depending on what you play, is I have Fear and Deadman in hand, which could do 4 damage to your unit plus anything else you play that turn, which has been set up. It costs 1 less since I used Vader's ability.
Yeah, and I just went for the credit generation to set up, I think, for next turn.
What does Fear and Deadman do exactly?
4 damage to all enemy units, and it costs 1 less for each card you discarded this turn. So it costs 7, but since I did a discard, it costs 6. So I was setting up to try to clear his board with it, but he was astute and traded into my unit rather than give me a board blow up.
Yeah. I was trying to make it so that next turn I could play something really big.
And I believe that's a rare, right? The Fear and Deadman.
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah, it's also got really cool art.
Yeah. Like to see
now
that
we're
type
at
of foil.
7, I believe, resources. So this is the big flip turn.
And you could play something that costs 10. So in theory, there's a lot that you could do with that.
In theory, I do have 1 big card in my hand if you've been watching the hand cam, and I'm going to make an attempt, I think, at this at some point because I'm stacking it up. Yeah.
Classic, yeah.
Hey, look, it's a big ship. If I remember right, Kyle's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, the problem is that I'm going to flip Vader and play a
I know,
Rancor.
and play
So
that.
my stats are bigger than your stats.
Well, yeah, I mean, imagine if you had a Rancor in that pool, Sharky.
I would
A
love
turn
that.
ago, you could have played it, you know,
Yeah.
and then you
We're
really
at the point now too.
set up.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You just
I
really
said we're at
set
the
up,
point-
right?
Yeah, I'd be really happy with that one. We're at the point now where I can just play the off aspect stuff without really having to worry too
Caring,
much
yeah.
about the cost. The credits do help with that, so that is something about Boba.
Oof.
I also ended up top decking that, if I remember correctly as well, and it came in at the right time because I can nuke the Rancor.
Yeah, and you can't nuke Vader because it is leader. It's a non-leader, right?
Non-leader,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and
That is
I'm
correct.
reading it right now to make sure that it can go cross arena. Because in my head I was thinking this can only hit same arena, but no.
So
it can-
Haymaker is the opposite. Haymaker can take out leaders, but it's only in the same arena.
Yep. And so I got to do 12 damage in one swing. That was actually fun. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the problem. I'm now doing the math and saying if I draw cards this turn and I just throw my hand next turn, can I do 10 damage and just kill you?
Yes.
Yeah.
You need to do exactly 10, and that's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we did it.
So this is one of the things that I discovered that I really like about Vader is you could just put your opponent in check early in a turn after his flip, knowing
Yeah.
that you're going to be able to smack them the following turn.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, we'll get ready for the finals now. All right, we got the final match. Myself, Jordan versus Kyle. Kyle on Vader yellow, or yellow for me. Showing off my hand there. Pretty awesome hand without a 2-drop.
Yeah.
Oh, I always forget the
Easy
droid
mulligan.
Sentinel is a 3, not a 2.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a 2, it would be crazy.
I agree. It just in my head, it's so crazy that it's a 2 also. And I'm like,
Yeah,
it's not. I need to remember that. But also, that makes sense in hindsight. Like, oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Oops.
At this point, Sharky and Jillian have been vanquished. So let's we'll see who can take it home.
They're hanging out
Vanquished
downstairs,
rotated that,
entertaining Carl and the kids. But yeah, seriously, look how vibrant these mats look. The Jabbo looks amazing. I love the Pod Racer one too, but I mean, I think the past 2 sets specifically, they must have changed something with their print style or something, because they like pop off the screen.
Yep. They do a
Yeah.
good job with that.
They're also stitched, right? And it calls it out on the box.
Yeah.
Like now with stitching, right? And it's noticeable that when they have stitching, how much nicer they feel.
Yeah, it's almost like they brought stitching in and then it went away and now it's back or something like that, you know?
I feel like maybe it's a different company, and this company just does a better job of it.
Yeah, I don't know. But they're very nice, very, very nice. I have so many mats and I still was like, I don't know if we should give these away. Looks like I'm starting with the initiative here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm looking for something with 3 health. I'm trying to avoid getting burnt by Aura Singh at least early in the game. I'm trying not to give you favorable trades, that sort of thing. But I'm not going to be able to avoid it here.
And here I am with Val, not to be confused with Vel. I played it a lot in this tournament today. 2-4, so that's the positive. The negative, obviously, is that it could give a shield on exit, which I really don't like. I think it's probably the weakest 2-4.
Yeah, I mean, you have to play differently with it, right? Because I want to try to take advantage of it and get that shield, and you want to make sure that you're not giving it to me. So here, you're going to attack into my unit, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I feel like I have to probably try to set it up anyway, even though I know you're going to trade most likely. It just it makes it so there's no shield. It's weird.
Yeah,
that was the power.
There's
the power of Aura, though, right? I'd like to be able to play a unit, then do the trade and get the shield, but I'm forced to trade immediately so I don't get killed by the Aura ability.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think in this case, that's the way you use Val. Sorry, that's Val.
It is confusing.
Well, my tongue got twisted on that one too. But she's a strong 2-4, but yeah, she probably is the weakest of the bunch.
Yeah.
But when you can do something to set it up so that it's just like, well, get a double trade out of it and you don't have to worry about a shield.
Yeah, she's the only one with any downside. Here I am using the splash base to play the expendable mercenary, figuring, hey, if I get to 7 faster, might be good.
Yeah, and we didn't point out there, we both passed on the 3 resource turn. Neither of us having a play in our hands. So we have time warp to 4 resources because we both missed our 3 drops, unfortunately. Of course, I immediately draw a 3 drop on the 4 resource turn, unfortunately.
I was setting up like a bounce, I think. I had the axe forgets. And it wasn't able to do it. So now I'm getting that resource ramp with that mercenary, bringing me to 6 resources.
Yeah, and you get the kill out of it. So this is where Aura's ability shines too for a trade up.
There, like,
or I guess
Aura,
you will. You
technically
don't yet,
but Aura definitely has downside. Don't get me wrong, but it's definitely, it allows you to play an interesting way and it makes your opponents play in a different way.
Yeah, they have to be very conscious of it.
Because of Aura, again, now I'm playing a stat pile unit. So I actually float a resource here. I had a bigger unit to play, but I feared getting bumped and then getting traded up with Aura. So I'm trying to put just things with a bigger butt, more resource health into play to try to avoid getting Aura'd.
Yeah, like that ambusher you have in the deck is a 5/4. There's that 8/5, which would feel terrible getting killed by Aura, obviously. So some interesting breakpoints there.
Yeah, the 8/5's a monster if you can keep them on the board. It just seems like it's really hard to do, especially with these 2 leaders floating around.
Yeah. You're just taking a double check, making sure.
Yeah, I want to make sure she can kill 5 health, right? So I'm going to take my first action to run into Qui-Gon here because I figure my unit's probably dying, so I want to get some use out of it first.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon doing Qui-Gon things.
And I just go to base. We haven't reset your base counter from the previous round, so you're just sitting at 3. I do Qui-Gon's little draw thing to get some filter. That's a pretty unheralded benefit of Qui-Gon, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And likewise to your Aura ability, I'm able to efficiently use Vader. So, your Qui-Gon, which would have survived, I could kill with Vader's ability.
Yeah. I think we're going to see a lot of both Vader and Aura.
Yeah. Pings are always good.
Mm-hmm. And That's a Rock is obviously not necessarily made for Vader because it's from the High Republic, but it fits really well, obviously, and constructed as well. Marin, Padme, great stuff.
Hey, now, wait, that's a Rock's from the Solo movie, not the High Republic.
Is it really? I thought they were talking about Geode, that who is a Rock.
No. In the Han movie, when Han is with Kira and they're escaping, their place that they come from, he fakes out Lady Proxima saying it's a thermal detonator, and Proxima is like, no, that's a rock.
Oh. No, I thought it was referring to Geode, who is, in fact, a rock. So live and learn. We got Haymaker coming in here with Aura, but then I think I'm reconsidering because it doesn't kill. I thought it was the +2 that the
the one I had
left to lose does.
Yep, you're gonna need 1 more damage to take down this monster of a unit.
Yeah, that thing does a ton of damage.
Just looking at my hand, I do have a couple ways to handle it, which is pretty nice. And one of them is Finn, just trading there.
Just throw Finn at him, yeah.
Yeah.
Finn costs 6, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I follow up with 3 to base, taking Kyle to 6.
This is one of the downsides to Aura, though. Is you've got the board now and you've flipped out Aura, but she's just not threatening. I'm like, you hit me for 3.
Imagine
it's
her
not too big of a deal.
In Secrets of Power with plot, right? Being able to play Armor of Fortune or anything like that really would have been a great fit there.
Even Sudden Ferocity can make her pretty interesting, yeah. Oh, hey, look. It's Vader.
Who is a threat.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, he's not a threat anymore.
And the Kill Switch, really great card. Might even be top tier.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was playing Perilous Position when it was out, too.
Nimble Prowess.
Very similar kind of strength, I think, among all of those cards.
When that Rancor comes down, I have no choice but to just play a well-statted 4/6. Not great there, but it, got to build the board a little bit.
Not great, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you couldn't float resources, right? I've already played the Rancor first.
Yeah,
I guess you could have chose to claim to try to deal with the Rancor or put something down, but either way, I'm going to get value here.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting Vader and Rancor out at the same turn is pretty nuts.
Yeah, especially with the hidden with Rancor.
Yeah. And at this point, yep, he's got to use Vader to get some use out of him before he gets killed, because the kill switch actually puts him in kill range of the guys whose name I can't remember now.
The
the 4-6
Vortex Trooper or something, I think.
Yeah, they come down at 4-6, and that's just a strong stat stick that's strong enough to kill Vader in this case. So.
Yeah, it is.
Thinking about what to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm thinking here to myself, I know this is going to be a multi-step process regardless how I do it.
Yeah,
that guy was dead as soon as Rancor attacks anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I'm being a little greedy here. I could have hit the base with the Rancor, but I'm hoping you're going to play a unit so I can get my 7 damage to that unit when I hit base.
Mm-hmm. Taking me to 11 here. With an empty board also, so not feeling great.
Not great, Bob.
Just play Bix again. Just, I think one of the big things in Limited is just kind of spend as many resources as you can, as often as you can, and then Shadow of Stingy and Prime comes down, and that's a pretty tough one. Another very, very good card.
Yeah, that might be one of the best cards in the whole set. Not only does it's a removal, eliminating a threat, but then it's also pinging 2 damage if they can't get rid of it. It feels oppressive.
Yeah,
it is, especially in Limited.
Without question, it's a top tier. It's one of the few cards in our team rankings that every person who did rankings had rated as top tier in Limited.
Yeah.
Another example of that would have been Nothing
Finn,
Left to
probably.
Lose and Finn. Yeah, those are there's very few all across the board.
You're in
top
good
tiers.
company there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oof. Hona and Rancor is a really strong board to have to deal with.
Yeah, so at least Haymaker here takes care of Rancor. Not great, but as you say, Sharky, it's honest work.
Exactly.
Well, I want to call us out again for last turn. I played Hona and the Stygian card at 8 resources. I obviously had to use the base to play Honan, and we haven't marked it.
Yeah.
Let's see if it matters. If we end up using the base again, I don't believe so. So it's fine, but there should be a marker on the base indicating it's been used.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's good to call it out to remember, so that next time, and anybody who might be watching, just make sure you're thinking about it at these pre-releases, because these are all new cards. We're all playing things. I remember at the Shadows pre-release, I actually played Frozen and Carbonite on a leader before I remembered to read the card.
Well, it's also vibes are high. You're having fun. You're joking. You're laughing. That's like part of the joy of pre-release, right?
Agree.
But also, you want to be careful and make sure that things get played properly.
Yeah, they're all new cards. I mean, a lot of people are going to be reading them for the first time. Thankfully, we've been trying to prep for this, so at least we've read them a couple times. But it's all new to everybody.
Yeah, and there's a lot of cards that are just limited cards.
Yep, that's true too.
Like these Mildon or Mildew Riders. We're not playing them much in construction.
The ambush guys.
Yeah. I think it's Mildon, but Mildew would be cool as well. So they're coming in, probably, I would imagine, taking out Hona.
Yeah, and I do like this play because, I'd read the other part that you get to return a unit to your hand.
Yeah.
So you get to get back your own Bix, but more importantly, you get to get rid of the Stygian.
Yeah, it takes, I'm obviously in a bad spot here sitting at 20 damage, but it takes that 2 off and, gives me some more optionality.
Unfortunately, I'm showing lethal here, and I don't see a way for you to stop it.
Yeah, the Rancor was pretty tough to deal with. Just being able, I had to spend so much time doing it, and I had to play in a way that you didn't get to blow up my board. So just in general, it's an interesting one.
The Rancor
we're going to game 2.
Very strong. I think in Limited, like we knew it was strong going into this one, but after seeing it in the last few games, it's just it can take over a game in a way that's really tough to predict, I think, because it feels like it shouldn't be as good because the opponent gets to choose a unit to do the damage to, but the choices usually suck.
You have an influence on the suckiness of that particular choice.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Obviously you never want to give your opponent agency, but that doesn't mean you can't have an impact on that agency, right, Kyle?
Yeah, absolutely. So going into game 2, I don't think I made any sideboard. No, I did. I made one change. I saw that you did have a good mid range, and I brought in one more out of aspect removal card. To try to help myself kill anything you're going to play kind of in the middle of the game.
Yeah, I think I just brought that Sarlacc in. Just to get another piece of top end. But
both responding to each other, right? I'm trying to respond to your mid game because I felt it was strong, and you're trying to respond to my late game.
Yeah.
Yep. Haymakers.
And I think my mid range was really good. I had the 2 Mildew riders plus Finn, some good sentinels up and down the curve. It just really, like we were saying, really lacking in that top end. And maybe that will be some of the downfall of yellow here, right? Is that unless you are planning on getting a legendary, like the Lawbringer is probably your best top end in these color schemes outside of Rancor, right? Like you don't really have that many massive common units, and I'm talking 8, 9, 10 resources.
Yeah, it's a tough one to navigate sometimes. I'm looking through the things now, and I don't see anything in blue.
Yeah,
qualify there.
Because in red you have like the raid 3 unit. You have the 8-5 that we saw. You have some different things there. Maybe it really is the type of build where you have to really hold off that double aspect for something, or that aspect base for something big.
Yeah, and in yellow, it's pretty much, or at least yellow villainy, it's pretty much just Rancor.
Yeah. Just Rancor.
True, yeah. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing else there.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking through it. There's some good stuff in the heroism side, but not as much on the villainy.
There's like that rogue squadron thing that is like an 8/8 and is cheaper for how many damage units you have.
Yeah, that's the blue guy, right?
Mm-hmm. That's heroic though. So
yeah, and then yellow villainy has got some good like 5-6 cost ish range. Like Boba Fett, if you can find him as a rare, and Vermilion's actually pretty good too.
Yeah,
but yeah,
mostly mid range stuff though, right?
Yeah, so you kind of got to lean into the mid rangey part of that one.
That is interesting.
Yeah, this game, I was a little worried. I looked at my opening hand after a mulligan. I was like, oh geez, I don't have a 2-drop, but it was the last card in my hand. Thank goodness.
Oh no, panic mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think for like the 4th game today, I'm starting with Val here again, which like I hated. It was a 2-4 I'm happy about, but it's just sometimes how the cards go,
Yeah.
So claiming there going into the 3 resource turn, that's a pretty bad start for you as well, Kyle, in terms of just a 2-2.
Yeah, I'd rather be contesting you on ground. Again, I'm trying to get to the late game, so I'd much rather be contesting you than poking away with a 2-2 that you're probably going to be able to remove.
Yeah. So going in here, I think I just am I going to bounce here? Am I going to bounce this 2-2? That feels absolutely horrible, but clearly the cards are what the cards are. It was that or kill switch, it looks like, and I'm not playing kill switch there.
Yeah, and I've got 000 now to contest Val.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure, but this is really good for me.
Because then you're able to get the shield. I think I just have to claim to not give it to you instantly and see if I could do anything about it.
Yeah, that's the right call, right? Because you know that I'm about to kill and get the shield, so claim and pray for an answer, right?
Yeah.
Bounce, kill, anything.
And speaking of mid-range there, like looking at that hand, it's Finn, Qui-Gon, kill switch, like very solid. Qui-Gon coming in.
Well, you got it.
Yeah.
It was the right call.
Uh-huh. But it is, and then that 4/6 as well. So maybe these are just the mid-range colors, some a learning lesson.
Unfortunately, my sideboard choice comes in very timely here, and disgustingly is able to kill Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
And I just take my 2, make you do the work.
And look at that. We actually marked the base and used the out of aspect card this time.
When we say we, you.
Both players are responsible for the board state, buddy.
So yeah, this is a shielded 5/5 with 2 damage on it. Really challenging there. That is the downside of Val. Again, what are you gonna do? Not play it, right? So something to think about as you look at the conversation we had in our last podcast, where we're going through that matrix of where these 2-drops are and what color schemes and what damage splits. You know, it really does show in the spot that even if I was playing green here, green heroic, you know, the Wookiee who has no other ability is just not as much of a liability.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of 2/4s getting eaten by turn 2 4/4s this pre-release.
Yeah. Yeah, something to think about, especially when you know at game 2 that your opponent has it and stuff like that. Here comes that Canyon pod racer. Just it's not exhausted, so it doesn't work. Yeah, that's what we figured out there. Very strong ability, though. It's similar kind of to that heroic arc 170 that we saw in Secrets of Power.
So at the mid range here, or the mid game, my game plan of control the board, I'm going to stick to it. I could have hit your base for 5 there, but I could use Vader's ability to clear your unit. I want to stick with let's get to Vader with relatively low damage.
Yeah, and this is the game that I didn't ramp as well, so you feel a little difference not being ahead, being able to stick that aura and clear the board a little bit.
All right, looking at my hand, I've got my giant 6-drop and my Rancor. So
yeah, I think the Rancor, there hasn't been a single game that we saw that you haven't had the Rancor on curve.
Yeah, so the Rancor's been really consistently devastating, and it shows up every time.
Yeah, one interesting thing though here is we're on 6, and I've got this 8/5 beater in my hand, but I realized I can't drop this.
Yeah,
because if I do, when you flip Aura, he's just dead, right? And I don't want to just feed you one of the, I only got 3 or 4 bombs in the deck, and I don't want to just give you one for free. So right now I'm thinking about, do I just play it and give it to you, or do I play something smaller and float resources?
It definitely is one of the things of Aura, like it's almost like a passive ability.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to choose to just to play a 3-drop and just not use my other 3 resources, because I don't want to just feed you my bomb. Because at this point, I think you have to flip the Aura and kill one of these smaller units. You can't afford to save it, so that can then I can play my bomb later.
Flip does come out, take out 000. Another spot where the Sultan Sap, I think it's the Sulstan Sapper, is pretty good, but a little bit of a liability with only 2 health.
Yep. Usually he's almost pseudo removal with his ambush.
Pretty much.
It's not very often I'm trying to stick him on the board. I'm probably just running him out there to kill something.
Kill a 2-drop. You know. Again, just speaking to how good that pool was with 2 3-drops with 4 power, 1 with ambush, 8/5 Rancor gets you to a spot, and then that's a rock too, right? Really well fit to Vader.
Yeah, fair. Look, you've got your Rancor as well, so we're going to be doing Rancor battle.
But again, another the second appearance of Stygian Prime in the hand. Some deck stacking allegations coming in.
From totally anonymous tip there too.
I just got Carl just was like, yo, this looks shady.
Yo, dude. I mean, he was standing over his shoulder. Oh no, is he standing over your shoulder?
Probably, yeah. And that brings me up to 15. Really, with that being the only bomb in my deck, pretty tough.
Yeah.
Tough thing without the upgrade removal. At this moment, I was asking myself, I wonder if I should have been playing Sabine.
Yeah,
so it might have been worth it off aspect that much, because you could have just nuked it. Like it's one of the few few upgrade removals that.
And I guess when you get late enough, it doesn't matter that much. I mean, it would cost 7, right? Or no?
Yeah, but you have
5.
7 when you flip, right?
Just 5, right? No, it would cost 7 because it's red and and heroic. So that'd be
So the crazy part of this turn is you had the tap down, but the power of Vader again, I was doing the math to see if I could just kill you, throw my entire hand and kill you that turn. And I think the math was yes. So 10, 15, 17, I had to do 10. and I had 4 cards in hand. Yeah, so without the
You
tap
had 3
down,
cards in
I just
hand,
had
yeah.
lethal right there, right?
Yeah. So I'm able. I think I chip away at this Rancor with this pod racer, and I incapacitate, take care of it with aura. So pretty tough. The Stygian Prime kind of makes it challenging to do anything on that turn. But like you said, being able to have a little bit of an aggressive negotiations mimic, you could only do it once, or you only really want to do it once, right? But
it's the same problem.
Yeah.
You're sitting here doing everything to kill my Rancor, but it all matters not, because I can just smash you with Vader
Yeah.
first action next turn.
So that's all we got for this little in-house tournament. Join us next time. Catch you guys soon. Appreciate it. Bye.